Hello, mistakers. That's right. It's just me. It's just John. I'm going to do a whole podcast episode of just me. Wait. Before you turn it off, because I know I would, it's not actually true. Kat and I are not able to put out a new episode this week, so we are providing you with another surprise encore, this time in the form of one Ms. Emma Bell of stage and screen fame. You may know her from The Walking Dead, where she was a recurring character. We talk about all manner of fun things, including reality recognition disorder on the part of a fan. Also, narwhals. And I mean, who doesn't want to hear about narwhals? So I present to you for possibly the second time or possibly the first time. Either way, I highly recommend it. Check out Emma Bell and Here Be Narwhals. We'll be back again next week. Love you, mistakers. Hi, Kat.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
Excellent.
Yes.
What are we doing here?
We're doing a podcast.
What's it called?
It's called My Mistake, last time I checked.
Who are you?
I am John Fitzgerald. And who are you?
I'm Kat Crimmins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In case I forgot
You're
your
welcome.
name. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And sometimes we have other people on the podcast.
We do, and this is one of those sometimes.
It is?
It is. It's my understanding. I mean, unless this other person in front of the microphone.
I'm here.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
It's Emma Bell.
It sure is.
Hi, Emma Bell.
Hi, guys. What was your names again?
I'm Kat.
Okay,
I'm
Kat.
John.
John. Great.
And you're Emma
You're
Bell.
Emma Bell.
You're a writer, a director,
Correct.
and an actress.
That's all true.
You do all the things.
I do all the things.
All of them.
I
I
clean,
got a
I
plumbing
cook, I
issue
do
at
everything.
home. If you,
Yeah, no, not
okay.
so much about the toilets.
All right.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't. How did you know?
Plumbing? I feel like plumbing is synonymous with
toilets?
toilets, right?
Okay.
I don't know. I guess there's also kitchen sinks, but
Sure.
Sure.
usually you don't poop in the kitchen sink.
I
You know what
mean, you haven't been to my house,
That's true. I haven't.
and now you never probably will.
Yeah.
Sure won't.
Definitely
Yep,
don't.
Yep. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey,
Emma.
thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here.
Well,
So
the pleasure is all yours. Go on.
Apparently,
that is absolutely true. So we talk about my mistakes.
Yes.
and my
Our
mistakes.
mistakes.
Our
Yeah.
mistakes.
And, if you had anything that you wanted to talk about, this would be a good place to do
This is
it.
the place.
Sure.
Well, I was racking my brain to come up with some mistakes, and turns out I don't make them. So,
Oh wow! Well, this is going to be a short show,
Yeah.
kids.
Well, listen, everybody, thanks for
Thanks for
so it's
tuning
been
in.
really nice.
You can
Thank
reach
you
us
very-
at My Mistake Podcast.
No, I'm sure I make mistakes. But it's been interesting to kind of look at my life and be like, what are some interesting situations I've found myself in, whether they're my fault or not. Should I go? Should I start with
Yeah,
one?
man.
I would love
Hit
it if you did.
Okay, well, so people know me, or some people know me from my acting work, and I did this movie, Frozen, not the musical.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not
I
the
have
musical.
to admit, when I was doing my initial research, I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, whose voice did she do?" And
Do
I'm
you
like,
think I'd be on this podcast if I was on Frozen
See,
musical?
see this?
No.
No respect at all.
I'd be on like some sort of NPR thing. Anyway, just kidding.
We can be NPR. You just have to speak very
very low
quiet,
voices.
and low.
You guys have heard of that thing where people like whisper into the thing?
Oh, ASMR.
Is that what that's called? Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
that is. It's like it's weird because for some people think of it only as a porn thing because it's a porn thing now.
Is it also?
it's
a porn
Rule
thing?
34.
Everything can become a porn
everything's
thing, I guess.
Yeah, but
course,
but yeah,
of course.
they're like whole porn. There's a whole porn avenue now of just like people making sounds and talking.
Right, sure,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
I don't think it started off that way though, right?
No,
It
no.
started off to like calm you and
Well, and certain people, ASMR, I forget what it actually stands for, but it's like certain people get like a euphoria from it. They get
yes.
like a buzz.
well,
yeah.
good for them.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Good for them.
figure.
That's great.
Well,
Other
this is,
people are just dirty, dirty perverts.
Sure.
well, this is not that. So,
No.
so I do this movie Frozen, and it's about three skiers stuck on a ski lift. If you haven't seen it, you should totally go see it. It's pretty great. Plug number one.
Love
you
it.
go.
Keep it count.
And it's a horror film, so just FYI, and it's pretty realistically done, right? Like when
Okay.
we had our premiere in Sundance, many years ago, literally one person fainted at a certain point.
Whoa.
Two people walked out to like left to go use the rest, like to throw up. And one of those people came back. So,
Oh,
Hey.
wow. That's
You
a
know.
good sign.
yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they need to go to therapy. I'm not sure. But my point with that is just there are moments in this piece where the spoiler alert, people die. And in these moments, like it feels very real. Like it's like everything was done practically, so it feels very real.
So no effects. It's all just
No effect, no
naturalism.
green screen, like everything was done like, anyway, so we go to this screening, me and the two guys, right? And in order for me to tell this story, I have to just give away the fact that I'm the only person who survives in this movie, right? So these two other guys do not survive in the movie. They
Nice
last.
job.
Sorry, but it's been out for like 10 years. That's on you.
So I hope you got paid more than those guys.
No, certainly not. Don't even think I got top billing. It's fine.
Ouch.
Come on.
But anyway, so we're at this premiere. Okay, this is all going to make sense soon. So we're at this premiere in Santa Monica, and the credits roll, and they put the lights on. They're like, now welcome the cast of Frozen with the director, and they set up the chairs, and we're doing this Q&A with like a sold out show, which was great. And people are asking us normal questions, and then this one guy raises his hand and they call on him, and they're like, he's like, my question is for Parker. That was my character's name.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, okay. So I grabbed the mic and I'm like, hi, sir. And he's like, wow, what you went through was just so traumatic. What did your mom say to you when you got to the hospital?
Oh, no.
Oh,
And I was
boy.
like, there's no scene where I'm in a hospital. This would have been like after the movie ended.
right, which he's making the logical conclusion.
Sure, right. He's like, you
know?
obviously got saved and you went to the hospital, so what did your mom say to you? And I was like, oh no. And I like look over, this was like one of my first ever press things. So I like look over at the two far more experienced actors, and I'm like, you guys want to help? And they're just both like,
Nope, this is on you.
you got
So
this
this is a documentary for this guy.
So I'm like looking,
Yeah.
and he keeps going, and he's like, did anyone feed your dog while you were gone? And like,
Oh no!
like,
Are you
did
getting help for your PTSD
yeah,
at
like
this point?
seriously, like he was so upset, and I realized like, oh my God, this was like, he didn't understand this was a movie. And so I try to like lean it back towards the fact that this is a movie. So I'm like, well, as an actor, it is good to think about these choices, right? You want to build a world around you.
Nice.
So I would say that, had this actually happened, my character's mother probably would have been very concerned. And like, I was just trying to be nice, but still, and like, he just wasn't like his mind, you could see it really wasn't like registering for him until probably the third time I answered in that way. And then I was sort of like, do you want to ask one of these dead guys?
There you go.
like-
Where are these guys
like-
coming from?
They
Yeah.
died. Are
Yeah.
you seeing them too? Because
Ooh, spooky ghosts on the
I
stage.
was like, oh my gosh. Like, it did cross my mind. At first I was like, oh my God, how do I handle this without making this person feel bad? And then I was like, wait a minute. These guys are dead.
Yeah.
You want to talk to me? I'm the living person.
Boring.
Don't you have a question for like
He's either playing a weird game with you or there's some mental
No,
illness.
yeah,
there.
I don't
It's-
know. I don't know. He was a very sweet person, but I was just like, it was one of these moments where I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I think I don't think that's a mistake. I think you handled that with aplomb.
Well, what did I tell you at the beginning? It was,
Uh-huh.
I don't make
You don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So
It was just a very awkward situation, and I was just like, sure.
no,
okay.
that's a great story.
This is how I get out of it.
I love that you thought to be able to say, if this had actually happened, like, you're giving him context
Yeah,
clues.
I tried.
yeah,
I tried.
yeah, but
I tried.
no, it was not getting through.
So you do have fans. So you were a regular on Walking Dead,
Sure.
and you go to conventions.
I do that
And you
sometimes.
meet
Yeah.
fans.
I do.
How
Yeah. Lots of fan
that
stories.
that must be a interesting experience.
Oh, it is. This time last year, actually, I went to Berlin. One of the coolest things about being on Walking Dead is that there are these conventions. And, to be completely honest with you, it's like a weird love-hate relationship with the convention world, because it's lovely to go to new places and see the fans there and interact with fans. But it's also it's like it's a business situation, and
Right.
it's
It's an income
that part's
stream.
very
Yeah.
strange, So like you're sitting behind a table. Literally, if anyone's not been to a convention, what a convention is like you go into a big, like warehouse or like airport hangar, or whatever they've decided to turn into the convention. Sometimes it's an actual convention center, and you sit in like a little table where like you're on a row of like Gandalfs next to you and like, like Thor's on the other side of you.
Sure.
Legit. Like, you're
In shape or out of shape, Thor?
Chris Hemsworth is always in shape.
There you go.
But I've never actually sat next to Thor and Gandalf. That'd be amazing. But like, side characters from The Hobbit and side characters from Thor. And, but you're all sitting at these little tables and you've got basically like a board up that tells people what you cost.
Right.
So it's like an autograph is
Wow.
$30, a photograph is $15, a blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is very strange. It's like you're at a lemonade stand, but you are the lemonade. Like it's just a very strange situation. So you're sitting there and people will come up and it's almost like they're browsing in a store too. Like they'll kind of like walk by and be like,
Is she worth it?
no.
Wow.
No, I'll come back. Like I'll get people who come up to me and they're like, oh my God, you're that girl. And I'm like, I'm the girl. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to go see John Bernthal and Stephen Yun and Sarah Wayne Callies and Andy. But if I have money after that, I'll definitely come.
Are you going to be on sale later?
Yeah, for real. And I'll be like, okay, cool. That's great. That's great. And then some
I'm
people will be
sorry.
like, oh, we just really love you. Can we have a picture? And I'm like,
Point to the
yeah.
sign.
And you're like, this is weird, but it's like $15 for a picture. And then people will be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that's
God.
fine. So sometimes that happens, which is a very strange situation. But there are some very lovely fans. I will say, so they do these things with you where you can like you can take like a selfie at the table with people.
Yeah.
Or they can buy like a legit with a photographer picture with you.
A photo op.
A photo op, if you will.
Yes.
Kat has been to a convention.
Kat's been to
Yes, I have.
a few rodeos.
Kat has
Yeah.
made someone very awkward at a convention. She's passed by and been like,
on
nope.
the right. On the right. No, no, no.
So I've had people who like, okay, so this one couple got 5 photos with me.
Whoa.
Okay. They
okay.
wanted 5 different photos.
Was that the $15 or like the deluxe
no,
package?
No,
No,
these are
this is-
higher ones.
yeah.
These are
Oh.
like more money. I mean, you kind of set your own prices, but
Sure.
like, so I'm kind of cheap. I'm on the cheaper end, but I think it was more like $25. So like $125 for
Sure.
5 photos. It's
Great.
like not bad.
No.
But whatever. So you stand in front of the photograph or like the camera, and there's a line basically, and they move the next person in, you take a photo, they walk off. They move the next person in. Again, very strange. And so this
For the record, I was doing this last weekend.
At the Erpapalooza.
Which
Yes.
convention?
Winona Earp.
Oh.
Erpapalooza.
Oh.
St. Louis, Missouri.
You were in St. Louis for
I
it?
was.
Wow.
This time last week, I was probably in line. Oh
my God.
Photo op.
So there's somebody who's never been to a convention sitting
God.
here.
You're both
on my-
sides. You
Yes.
get both sides of the
So-
story
Yeah,
here.
on my left is someone who is an attraction at conventions, and on my right
Yeah.
is someone
So
who
embarrassing.
is
No,
attracted
it's not
to-
embarrassing. It's honestly like it's so popular. Like more
It's-
people go to conventions now than
Yeah.
like almost anything else. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Big deal.
So so this couple comes up. Sorry,
Yes.
just
No,
really
no,
quick.
no,
Like, finish
no.
the convention story.
Please tell the story.
Most places the people have to try to wrangle the guest. Here the guest has to wrangle us.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, guys.
Guys, let's get back on. Yeah.
Guys, I'm turning this car around. So this couple comes up, and they had come up to my booth separately of this a few times, but hadn't paid for anything. They just sort of lingered, and they were just sort of like, "We really love you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's really sweet."
Yeah.
And and so they show up in line, and they're like, "We're getting 5 photos with you," and I was like, "Wow, great, thank you." Now usually it's just like, you kind of like rest your hand around their shoulders, and it's like a smile and go. So they had very specific requests.
Oh boy. Did this involve disrobing at any
What?
point?
No.
Okay, good.
They actually have security guards in case
Good.
things get
Good,
weird.
good.
But
That's good.
this got a little weird, though. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm standing there, and they're like, "Would you be willing? Like, we want to take a photo where we're making out, like them, the couple." And I was like, "Do you want me in the photo?" I'm like confused. What am I doing here?
You're photobombing their makeout session?
So yeah, they're like, "So we're just gonna make out, and you can just smile." And I was like,
wow.
"Okay." So they
This
start.
is exhibitionistic, voyeuristic. I don't
they
even.
just start making out.
Okay.
They start making out, and I'm in the photo, kind of being like, huh? Like putting my little thumb up, and I'm like, cool, like yay for love. I don't know. I don't know. And then they're like, oh, that was great. Then they like pull this like teddy bear out of the purse.
They have props.
They had props. And they're like, would you be willing to hold the teddy bear and like we'll like be
Make
kissed?
out.
Like we'll make out. They wanted me to hold the teddy bear as they kissed the teddy bear.
What?
On either side. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So then that's the second photo. And again, my face is sort of like,
They're getting their $25 worth
Totally.
for each one of these. Yeah.
Then it was like they wanted to do a prom photo,
Okay.
which was right, except for they wanted me to be in the middle.
Oh.
And I said
Okay.
yes and immediately regretted it because
Sure.
I was like, shit. Because like
Finally,
then
a
I-
mistake.
Yeah, there's the mistake.
There it is.
Here it is. I knew we had to mine for it.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so she was in my front, but he was in my back.
Yeah.
And that was weird. And then after that point, I was like, you know what? The next two are just regular. They're just regular. No more requests. We got a line. Okay.
Keep it moving.
There was
Keep
going to be a
moving, guys.
pyramid at some point.
I mean, they were very sweet, but I was just like, this is weird. This is very strange.
Yep.
Well, they put a lot of thought into it.
They actually had.
Right.
And that is really touching and lovely, but it's
Yes.
sort of like I wasn't involved in the thought process. I'm just sort of the prop.
It's like
Yeah,
we're so important that we pay celebrities to stand near us while we make out.
That one was, I kind of want to frame it because I saw the photo because she immediately posted, or she came back to my booth later.
showed
Just
you.
like, look at the photo. And my face looks great. Because it's like, I'm just like, it's not even like a smile. It's more of just, it's a very,
It's like a what?
it's like a Mona Lisa smile.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
a,
All right.
okay.
pensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting humans.
Sometimes I think
convention.
too many. just a thought.
But the nicest people, like
Oh.
literally the nicest people, as
Right.
Kat is one of them.
right.
That's right.
I'm
Just
nice.
so nice. So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I love about that is Kat works in the industry. She's exposed to the talent all the time.
I know it's weird, right?
And yet,
Can't
like,
get enough.
She's the biggest fangirl. And I
I
love
am.
that about her.
But it's very specific stuff. It's stuff that, and I've been thinking about this. It's stuff that sort of, it brings me joy,
Right.
Right.
and it also, it's sort of the 16-year-old version of me. It's the thing that I never got when I was 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Totally.
So she's living her best life right now.
We've had 13-year-old Kat
Yes.
and 16-year-old Kat all
Yeah.
getting like wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I love
it's
that.
good. It's good.
I don't mean to hog the stories, but you just brought up a
Oh,
story
please.
from me. But it's not a mistake. It's just a fun convention story.
Go.
I'm really turning this podcast around. It is no longer my mistake.
We're going to
It's just
rebrand
Emma
it.
Belsha.
Emma's stories.
That's fine.
No, but with the 16-year-old, so I'm not, like, everyone's a fan girl or boy, right? Like we all
Sure.
have those people that we
Yeah.
fan out on, and that actually at this same convention was just very eventful for me. I remember we flew in. A lot of times my husband will come with me because I'm like, I'm going to Berlin. Can you bring my husband? And then we get like a free trip. It's great.
Nice.
So
Very
we
cool.
fly into Berlin and we land at we get into the hotel, and I'm like so tired and jet lagged. It's all kinds of effed. Anyway, so I'm at the check-in and, you know, waiting for the check-in, and I notice this person kind of like walks up to me, not to me, but to the check-in, and I look over and then I look back at my husband and I'm like, I have to tell you who that is later. And he was like, whoa, what the hell? And according to him, he was like, did she sleep with this guy? And like, she's so
Oh.
concerned that he's here. But I was freaking out. And so I like take out, so the guy comes up to me, the concierge guy or whatever, and he's like, hello, ma'am, like, am I checking you in? And I was like, yes, you are. So I like take my ID out and I put it down. And the guy next to me, I will reveal who this is like, oh, are you from California? Because it says California. He's like, oh, so are you here for the convention? And I was like, yes, I am. I am here for the convention. Because obviously he was also here for the convention. I was like, yes, I'm here. I'm here for the convention. He's like, oh, great. What were you on? I was like, The Walking Dead. And so I'm here for the convention. And he's like, great. And then he sticks his hand out. I kid you not. And he's like, AJ McLean, Backstreet Boys.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
You guys, it was a Backstreet Boy, and that is how he introduces himself.
It's amazing.
And I died. I died. Sorry, I died. The 16-year-old in me died.
So, like, okay, what I would need to know was the not 16-year-old, like, how douchey is that he's like,
I don't even
Backstreet
care.
Boy? Okay, no, okay, good.
I don't even care because
Total
it wasn't
override.
meant to be douchey. He was, I think, really, honestly, it touched me because he was just like, maybe you don't know who I am, but I was
Right.
on the Backstreet Boys. And I'm like, sir, I know who you are.
Sure.
Your face was all over my bedroom when I was 16, from the time I was 12 to like 16.
Amazing.
Like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, come on.
Yeah, well, Kat and I get recognized on the street a lot from this podcast.
Sure,
Yeah.
Because you
that's
recognize podcasters. That's
Of course, that's how
the
that
main
works.
thing.
I will say I actually did recognize one time a DJ when I was a kid. I was at the bookstore I worked at, and I heard this guy talking from like halfway across the store because his voice wasn't raised; it just carried.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "That's that DJ who does that show." And I went over, and it was him. Like I can sometimes pick that out.
Yeah.
But,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. You heard the caliber in his voice.
Sure. Yeah, the timbre.
The timbre. Yeah.
Yeah, not the Jeffrey timbre. That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story.
But anyway, I didn't mean to. We don't really get recognized. That was a joke.
What?
No, it's true. One day,
You
One
got
day.
me, sir.
we got fans composing songs.
That's true.
Yeah.
That happened.
Really?
That was a thing.
Yeah.
That's so
It
wonderful.
happened. And you may or may not know, this is one of the few episodes where My Mistake podcast, the entire episode was a mistake. And it
Okay.
was where we read poetry that we had written
Okay.
when Kat was 13 and I was like 19 or something
Yeah.
like that, or maybe even older than
Yeah, it
that.
was pretty brutal.
But one of our mistakers wrote a song with the lyrics of her poem.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh my God, that's actually so sweet.
Amazing, actually.
I love that.
That's pretty good.
That's
I mean,
so sweet. Did you know this person?
Yes.
Okay.
They were kind enough to, they weren't making fun of the poem, which I thought
No.
was surprising.
It's actually quite a good song.
a musician friend of mine, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was very sweet.
You sweet
Yes.
fan and friend.
Amazing.
That's lovely.
Amazing. Yeah.
Do you have any convention stories?
Not that
looking
we're
at you,
going to talk about. Okay. So I will tell you though, this thing I was at last weekend, I have not been to a convention in maybe 15 years.
Okay.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
I thought you did booths and stuff with your t-shirt
Sure,
company.
working at conventions, but
Okay.
going as a paying fan
Gotcha.
to like do some sort of thing. It's been a while, so I felt ridiculous. Doing the photo op, I paid money to stand next to two people, and I felt ridiculous. I was almost apologetic.
Oh, come on.
I was like, yeah, I have to do this because I'm here, but like, why am I doing this? This is so, it's just a very strange thing.
You love
for
this
a
show.
42-year-old woman to pay money to stand next to two 30-year-old women.
No,
Kat.
it's strange to make out in front of those.
Yeah, that's strange. And
That's
to
strange.
kiss a teddy bear that's being
But to
held
just
by
show
the-
your support and love, that's totally lovely.
No,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
thanks
There's a
for,
whole community around this show that
Oh,
is
it
like
is. It's a great fandom.
like-minded folks
Yes,
who
very-
seem to be very nice to each other.
they
which
are.
is
It's
great to
it's
see.
it's a great group of people.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no convention stories. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, damn it. Get out.
Yep, I know.
Leave. So, anything else? Is there anything? I know you said we got a mind for some mistakes.
I
from
mean,
you.
now the stories are rolling in, but I do
Yeah.
feel like I've taken over.
Oh.
So you
No.
go, we can go back. We can come back to me.
This
This is the Emma Bell show. I mean, like
I've always wanted a show about me.
this is at least our 30th episode.
So
at
you've
this point.
talked a lot,
We've
is what-
really
This-
we've gotten down to the
This actually might be number 30.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is our 30th.
And they're
episode.
usually like an hour ish.
Yep. Yeah.
So you've had
Yeah.
30 hours. Great.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, do it.
You are due.
No, I just thought of one. This is such a sidetrack. We're getting off conventions now because Kat is literally the color of a red apple. So we're just going to move on.
You are the
Thank
theme.
you.
So if the story happened to you, it's on theme.
Well, I have another very so I do have an embarrassing story that I did. That I was the person who made the embarrassment happen. I love to dance. If anyone follows me on any of the social medias, they'll see I always dance to things. I, in my mind, am like a Beyonce of dancers. Like, just love it, think I'm great at it.
Sure.
So I do dance classes too, but like, it's really just for fun. But when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I signed up to do a couple dance classes at this dance studio called The Edge, which is in Hollywood. And it's
Okay.
like a very famous sort of like, there's Millennium and then there's The Edge and there's a couple other, but they're all very like where pop stars go. Like they're very, very, anyway. So I go in and I'm like, I got this. This is totally great. And I sign up for this like jazz hip hop class. And I am woefully unprepared for the tempo that is of a real dance class caliber. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So these are people, they have a lot of dance experience
this is what they
already?
do. They do 8 hours of dance a day.
Wow.
Right. And I just was like popping in on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm in there and I'm like, Emma, you are going to finish this class because you paid for it and like you're not a quitter. And so, but you normally like you learn it in like the whole class learns it together. So even if you kind of suck at it, you can sort of like hide
behind
you're like,
yeah.
well, no one can see me. I'm in the back. Right.
Right.
And then this teacher did a very mean thing, which was she's like, okay, groups of 3.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Can't hide.
And I wanted to die. Like I wanted to just be murdered. I was like, if a murderer could come in here and stab me before it was my time, that would be great because I did not understand this dance. Like I could kind of get some of the moves. It was so fast and I just was like, now I'm embarrassed and everything is, working against me. So I'm just like shitting myself. I'm just like, no, maybe if I just keep moving around, she won't know. She won't know that I haven't done it. That didn't work. So she's like, okay, you come down again. And I'm like, fuck. Oh, okay. So I get in front of everybody. And there was this portion of the dance where like, I just remember it was like a roll. There was like a rolling motion into like a popping back up into like a pirouette and a jump across the floor. And I was just like,
You've already
I'm,
lost.
I'm exhausted just hearing that.
so much
Yeah.
happening. And so like I got to the rolling part. Okay. And I was just like, this isn't getting any better. Like I cannot finish this dance. So I continued rolling
Oh no.
out the door.
Oh, that is awesome.
I did. I rolled out the door.
I was thinking you were going to flop. You were going to fake
Nope.
an injury
I
and
rolled. I rolled,
Uh-huh.
and then I continued rolling.
Oh, that's amazing.
Out the door.
Wow.
Did you leave your bag in the room or like
I didn't bring it back. I just was like,
travel light, baby?
I'm done. I think I left a water bottle in there. I was like, sacrifice, fine.
There you go.
That is a fine sacrifice for my dignity, for my pride.
You
I could
retreated.
not be seen again.
Oh, that's fantastic.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not.
That's amazing.
Nope, just kept. And then I like pop back up in the hallway, and I'm like, you are not turning around. You are walking. You just keep walking. You keep walking.
I want to see. I have the picture in my mind. You're rolling. You pop up, and you are like catwalking.
No, totally. I was
Right
like,
on-
this
yep.
is what I meant to do, and I am walking. Oh my
that's
god, I couldn't finish it. I couldn't
That's
finish it. I was
incredible.
so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed.
I think you were probably the smartest person in that room. That's
Again,
like,
no
yeah.
mistake was
Nope,
made.
Nope. You did exactly the right thing
just
under those circumstances.
Wish I could see the look on the face.
Like
the woman's
everybody
face.
else.
Like what is happening?
Why did that just happen?
Seriously, it's the most graceful exit that you could possibly have. It's
pretty badass.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad, guys. But
I have
did
made
it.
mistakes in crowds of people. Especially like there's one in particular. I'll tell a story.
Yeah, go for it.
I was at a party and I knew most of the people at the party.
Right.
But there were like 4 people at the party I'd never met before, and we were playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Now, because it was a larger party than it was originally intended to be, and I'm sitting on the floor, and I am a human being. I am
Yes.
a person. I have a digestive system.
I can see it.
No, you can't see the.
Well, I can't see it well, but I can
Yes.
see you're a person.
Yes. So I'm sitting there, and I have to reach for the card on the table,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sitting on the floor because I'm being kind and letting everyone else like sit on the couch.
Sure.
I lean up to take a card, and I fart. Okay, it happens.
happens.
It
Sure.
occasionally
Yeah,
happens.
it does.
But I'm around these people who I've never met before, and one of them is just a mean person. Because cool people in that instance just talk like nothing happened. They
yeah.
keep on going. But she's like, she looks me in the eye and goes, "Oops," and I continued to grab the card, and I leaned back, and I turned to my wife, and I said in her ear very quietly, I want to murder everyone in this room. So I had the opposite reaction that you had. You wanted to die. You're like, I want a murderer to come in. I'm like, I want everyone in this room to die right now so that this story will never go.
Never come out. And then you're saying it on podcast.
Yeah.
So.
And I want you to know how mean that person was. Like, I didn't see that person for a very long time, like 2 years or 3. I met her again. I was reintroduced to her again. And she said, "Oh, you're the guy who farted at the party." I'm not even kidding you. It was, Come on. I've never,
What a miserable person.
That's what she remembered about me. And I mean, come on. I got the gift of gab. There are things about me that you could remember that maybe could offset a bodily function that, could happen to anybody.
And it does.
It does.
And it does happen to everybody.
Of course.
It does, but not always. Like, it was just that quiet moment.
I was going to say, was it a sounder? Like, did it make sound or was it smelly?
Oh, no. If it was smelly, I could have.
Then you could have passed it
Yeah,
off.
I could pass that off.
anybody.
Been like, my wife's terrible.
My wife. No, this was
a sound.
It was,
And it went with the motion. There was no way it could have been.
It coincided. It was quiet and everyone was still. I leaned forward and.
See, I think you need to wear that like a badge,
Well,
man.
I do now. I mean, I'm telling this story
Yeah.
on a podcast that, I mean, just we have a listenership you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I may as well just be putting this on the nightly news.
I hope she's listening.
Yeah.
I hope she's listening and she remembers.
Screw her.
I'm pretty sure she's not listening.
You never know, man.
You never do.
You never know.
You never do.
It's true.
Yep. Yeah. So that's my fart story.
That's
Kat, do you have
good.
any fart stories?
No, I don't do that.
Oh,
She doesn't.
That's right. You're girls. Girls don't fart.
We don't fart.
No.
It's not a thing that happens.
Nope.
Sorry.
Don't fart.
Okay.
We don't do anything gross, in fact.
Well, I guess that's the end of this episode. Yeah, so I mean, it must be nice. You're in a lesbian relationship.
I am.
Kat.
So true.
You guys don't need toilet paper.
No, we don't
Like,
need a
I guess
toilet.
you have to have some for guests.
Yeah.
If a man comes over.
Yeah. Filthy
That's-
animals.
I know, right?
Men.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of, do you have any
Speaking of-
disgusting men stories?
Oh my God. Well, I want to stay married, so I won't.
Oh,
I
okay.
won't. Oh, I do. You're
wait.
prompting me for that.
Nice.
I know what that prompt was. I get it.
Uh-oh.
don't know.
All right.
We don't talk before that we start recording.
No, everything is
there's
cold and
silent.
therefore organic and wonderful.
Well, I was listening to your sexisode.
No sexism.
No sexisode. Oh, that's right, because no sex was had.
That's right.
This
There
was the
no
funniest
sex.
part. We went into that. We started recording with the idea that these were stories about sex. We didn't realize till the end, or like at least midway through, oh, wait a minute. We didn't have any actual sex.
Yeah,
This
that's
is all
hilarious.
ways that we screwed up and
Yeah.
fucked ourselves out of fucking. Is what-
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I heard that story, sir, and
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Well,
That was a lot. There's a lot to handle.
That was a lot.
There's a lot to handle.
I mean, one word, lactation.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
I mean,
it's
come on.
just too much.
Yep.
It's too
Too
much.
much.
So good.
No, it's too much.
So good.
Cat's into it, but
I love the rest. The story's good. The lactation part.
I feel like, anyway, whatever. I digress.
I really want to know what that was going to be, Emma.
No, well, as a woman who's married recently and wants to have children, like I could see that being a thing if you're like married and you're like,
Yeah, but you didn't just meet at an industrial hardcore show.
no.
Like,
That's like very strange. Also, I'd be like, I don't know what your bodily fluids have in them, ma'am.
Right.
Like,
This strange woman I just met.
I don't know that.
It's 1995.
Yeah. No,
There's-
let's not.
that
Let's
stuff
not
is
even
still
mess with that
happening.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
I met this actor. And I decided not to give names, but I will say he's the Brad Pitt of Israel.
All right.
No, I met this actor on this shoot that I did, and I was recently out of a relationship, and he was very attractive, and very romantic, and like came on really strong, and it was one of these like set romances, and we were playing like a couple, so we had to spend we decided to spend a lot of time together to kind of like, build our chemistry or whatever.
research.
And meanwhile, real
We call
chemistry
that
was
method.
happening. Yeah, exactly. But I did the whole like Anne Boleyn thing, I was like, you know what, sir, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy. Make me the Queen of England, then we'll talk.
What happened to her in the end?
She got beheaded.
Oh, okay.
Damn women with ambition. You know what I mean?
See? Gets them every time.
No, but I definitely was like, I don't know you very well. Like, I'm not, I like you, I'm actually like very bad at the one night stand thing.
Oh, God. It's the worst.
And I've tried, and it's just not my jam. And I don't know why I keep fighting it. Well, now I'm married, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know why I keep
Breaking news.
failing at the one night stand thing. I'm always like, Cameron, can we have a one night stand, please, with each other?
No, I'm coming
Just
home
tonight.
tomorrow.
Yeah. No. So anyway, so I was sort of like, I'm not that easily won, and blah blah blah. And so we did things, but we didn't do the full thing.
Right.
And we were it was just so romantic. It was just so everything was so romantic, and he would like whisper Israeli like things in my ear, and I'd just be like, oh my god, that is. You should edit that out.
No, not at all. No, I
want to make sure Leah hears that.
Yeah. I have a story I'll tell later.
Okay.
To explain that. Mhm.
I do not condone that. That was not Emma Bell. That was someone else on this podcast.
That was totally John Fitzgerald.
Okay. Anyway, so we get back to LA, and he's still very like, I want to see you. I want to take you out to dinner. And I was like, okay, great. And this is kind of why I held off while we were on set, because that happens a lot on set. You meet someone, you get swept up. You don't know if it's going to be a thing for real.
Sure.
And I just didn't feel like investing in someone unless I thought like, oh, this might be a real thing.
Yeah.
So we get back to LA, and he is immediately like contacting me and like, let's get together. I'd love to take you out to dinner. And I was like, okay, yeah, our first real date. This actually counts this time. So he takes me out to dinner. He takes me back to his place. We watch a movie and everything is going right.
Yep.
And, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. So,
All right, Israeli Brad Pitt.
yeah, I'm like, get
It's
over
on.
here,
It's
you.
on. Mm-hmm.
And this is actually getting embarrassing. This is the embarrassing part. So
That's
then,
when you know it's good.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
so I won't get into the details, right? Because, you can use your imagination. But at a certain point, he's fully naked, and I notice, and I just I just want to put this out there. If anyone has an interesting anatomy, this is not to say there's anything wrong with that, because
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that. This is just to say I should have been warned, because his thing, his appendage,
Yes.
okay, it did a weird like slither move. I've never seen it before or after, but it's like as it was getting there, it sort of did like a snake. Like a
He has a
little
prehensile
snake thing.
penis, is
I have
what you're saying?
no idea.
Whoa.
I've never seen it before or after, as I said, but it did this and I remember being like, whoa, wow, that was weird.
It kept doing it?
It did it like once and then like another time. And I was like, are you, is this like what happens when you're excited? Like, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
I'm thrilled with this.
No,
I am
it
thrilled.
was very strange, but I was just like, it's fine. You know what? Bodies are bodies, and bodies are great.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, plus, we're probably going to be together forever, so it doesn't matter.
At this point, of course.
So, yeah, I'm like, whatever.
It
so then,
survived the set. That's
exactly. Survived set. He had proven that he could.
Yep.
Takes off his pants, got a snake dick, and and we're doing it. The act is complete. Okay. So then we go back to his couch, and we're just laying there and like post bliss or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, midnight.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me and he's like, so where are you going to go now?
Oh.
And I was like, huh? Come again? Don't come again?
Yeah.
Won't come again?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Never gonna come again.
I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna go meet some friends out at a bar. And I was like, uh-huh.
Is he inviting you, or he's telling you need
And
to
then
go
he goes,
so he can?
so I was like, maybe this is his way of inviting me. And then he's like, so how long is the ride back to Silver Lake then for you?
Oof.
And I was like, oh, fuck you.
Wow.
And I remember being like, I was naked and I jumped up and I was like, listen here, sir. I don't know how they treat women in your country, but in this country, you do not sleep with someone and then treat them like a piece of shit. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, fuck you. And I got like,
Good for
really
you.
Amazing.
and I was like, walking in my car and I was like, your dick looks like a snake anyway. And I should have known. So
That's the
what a
story
piece
of
of
the
shit.
snake dick.
Yeah,
I'm
snake
like,
dick.
Snake dick. Uh-huh.
snake dick guy.
Yep. I am very curious about that now.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was like a one-time thing. Maybe
It wasn't the
was,
lighting
maybe
in the
it was the
room?
universe warning me and I just didn't pay attention.
It's like,
You know what I mean? It's like,
parcel
this man is
tongue
not
kinda,
truthful. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't-
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea. Biblical shit was happening. And I'm just,
I guess
You
so.
weren't picking up those signs.
I was not.
No,
Oof.
no, but
Didn't go-
I can
no.
see this is like when you had the test, right? Like, okay, it's on set. there's convenience involved, so you can't really trust it. And then like it seemed like, oh, okay, he wants to continue this after, but it was like, oh no, it's almost like he knew.
Oh, he
all
was
I have
playing
to
the long
do.
con.
Yeah. What
no,
an
he was
ass.
playing the long con. I mean,
Yeah.
it's never been that immediate.
Right.
Sometimes it's like the next morning and people are weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But it
got
was
an
like-
early meeting.
It was like 30 minutes later. And he's
That's-
like,
his
"You're gonna have to
refractory
go."
period ended, and he was kicking you out.
Yeah, I mean-
that's like not cool.
It was I was mad.
Oh, you should have been. I love that at least you told him in the moment. I mean, like, cause some people, they don't, they'll just quietly do the walk of shame out of
no,
there.
I
Like,
yelled.
good for you.
There was yelling.
Screw you.
Yeah, I don't
Israeli
take,
Brad Pitt.
I don't take that.
I don't
take
feel
that.
bad for making fun of your
On a podcast.
language on
8
a
years
podcast
later.
anymore.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
So the story about that was that at one time I had a snoring problem, and there's an episode of the podcast where we talk about how when I was too poor, I used to be an actor a long time ago. I was, and this was after that anyway, but I did not have health insurance, and so I found on Craigslist an advertisement to get a CPAP machine, so that would keep me from snoring,
Right.
And then my wife would not leave me.
Right.
So I mean, ideally, not for that.
Not for that anyway.
Right, yeah. But one of the things after I got health insurance, I went and talked to a doctor about having surgery to, because it's a soft palate thing.
Right,
We're
right,
just
right.
getting into all of my bodily functions
I love it.
and
It's great.
anatomy and
I love it.
everything.
Keep
here.
going.
But and he was like, we just need to trim that because basically when they took your tonsils out when you were a kid, it just kept growing. And
Weird.
so one of the first questions that he asked me before he recommended the surgery is he's like, do you speak Hebrew or Arabic? And I'm like, no. Why? And he goes, because those languages require a sound that you can't necessarily make if you have a short, and it's the
ch sound. Yeah.
The Billy
The back-
back in the
the back
day,
of the throat
yeah.
sound.
Billy Crystal would talk about his grandfather saying, "Pass me the chuch." And that was- so yeah,
Is
that
he
was
Israeli, Billy Crystal?
no, but he's Jewish.
Jewish, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and like kind of, I don't know. All Ashkenazic Jews kind of have somebody in Israel, I think.
Sure.
If you have anybody left in these days. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that about the soft palate thing. I wonder if you can't speak French well either, because they also require that.
It's very nasal, but do they have the like
Well, yeah,
the-
it's actually more in the back of the throat. Like everything in like Spanish is like right,
Right.
But the French R is.
See, I always
It's
think-
like like you're like getting a loogie up or something. It's like you just had like a ton of cheese and you're just like.
Do you speak French?
I do.
Bring
Ah,
it. Let's hear
let's
some
hear some.
stuff.
Moi? Maintenant? Non. Je parle français un peu. Ma mère habite dans Mali, Afrique, quand elle a un petit-fille.
Mhm.
Do you know that, man?
No. Not at all. I liked it. though.
J'adore Paris. See, that's the R. Paris.
Paris?
You don't say Paris, you say Paris.
Right.
So it's
Ah.
like this, this real back of the throat
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
My sister's a French teacher. That's my entire credit on that.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Ama.
Je m'appelle. It used to be. It was Oog. She tried to teach me French one time, exactly one time, and she said, "Let's say your name is John Smith, and you're going to say, my name is." And for some reason it was Oog, and I just made a joke out Oog. It was like I don't remember what it was, but whatever it was, I just went around making an old car horn sound, going, "I'm Ooga," and that was.
She's like, no more.
Yeah.
Don't know how you got oog from
I don't.
Jonathan.
It was John. It was Smith or John. I don't know what it was. I took 6 credit hours of French and flunked it all in college. So
Wow.
yeah, no, it was at a bad time in the day, and I was a theater major. And,
That's what it is.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah.
bad time.
Inconvenient.
Yeah, it was the scheduling. I also know one phrase in Norwegian.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Just because my family is from Norway. But it's the only thing I know, but I love it.
Yeah?
I love it because the sounds are amazing.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Il va hyggelig mot deg.
Whoa.
Isn't that good? Can you
Yeah. What does it mean?
I think it means like, how are you? Or something very benign.
That's a long
Il va
phrase.
hyggelig mot. I just love the hyggelig.
Yes.
Hyggelig
It's the best
mot
part.
deg.
Hyggelig mot deg.
Now, do you go up to Solvang and just randomly say that to
Il
people?
va hyggelig mot deg.
And then people go, oh,
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I got nothing.
Just walk away.
That's it. That's all I got.
Slowly walk away.
Yeah.
No, you roll down.
Yeah, I just roll down the street. Damn it! Good call.
Oh, that was a call. Like, this
was a
guy.
Thank you.
He is a pro.
Thank you and good night. I'm out.
He is a
Leave on
pro.
a high note.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if there's anything else,
What about you?
we can start.
What about you talking?
Oh no, that's boring.
I mean, we've seriously, people are, they either, at this point, they love us or they're hate listening. But like, they know so much about us. I mean, and I just, like, that's the first fart story I've ever told.
It is.
I'm trying to think. There might be more. And it was only like I was inspired to tell that story. Partly because booze, and that's why we drink booze.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
I feel it opened me up.
yeah, little. I mean, it works in many ways as a lubricant.
Yes.
Social and
It's true.
Yeah. What,
I'm gonna see where you're going. With
And now a note from our sponsors.
mistakers. I need you to know that every once in a while, I'll look at Kat like save me. And I need you to know that there's just a little tiny streak of sadism in Kat. And she'll just look at me like, oh, no, please, this is yours.
It's like, you made this mess.
Yes, I did.
You know why? Because she's a lesbian.
Is that why?
Yeah, because a straight woman would be like, oh, how do I help you out of this situation? Because you're a man and I should help you, and that's my job.
Yeah. No, that's probably true.
But Kat's like, mm-mm.
I want to see where this goes.
No.
And it may be a thing that is part of the reason why so many of my friends are lesbians. And the
Maybe.
rest are all albinos. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
True. Yeah.
Albino. Like legit albino?
Yeah. I actually
Like
I don't-
albino like you are albino?
No.
Or like
I hang out with them
legit
because
albino.
they make me look tan.
Tan.
No,
Interesting.
It's actually most of them are from a single family. Like
Oh,
it's
and that's
two brothers
their-
and a sister.
Wow.
And, yeah.
It's their thing.
Yeah, and we actually had one of them on, and I don't actually usually use the term albino because it's reductive. It's like identifying the person as their
Sure,
condition.
I get that.
But I mean, it's funny because they all have such a sense of humor about it. It would not be a problem. But yeah, you would say albinistic or a person with albinism or whatever, but they like it's not a problem.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but Kalen Chase is a buddy of mine who we had on the podcast. He's like a touring member of the band Korn.
Oh.
And also had a band called Vimic with the drummer from Slipknot.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, and he's actually making music now that's not metal. It's like it's more just like very musical music, like nice
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But so the joke is that I have all these friends who are albinos and all these friends who are lesbians, and I'm looking for the one true lesbino.
Lesbino. The unicorn.
Do you know of any?
A
Emma?
lesbino.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, let us know.
But I'll be on the lookout for you now that I know that that's the thing.
See, like I'm putting it out there in the universe. It's on my like manifest board.
Yeah.
Because you know I have one of them.
Of
Your
course.
dream
Of
board?
course. I feel like you should set new manifestations.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like things that might actually help you in life.
I think I would be really completely complete.
I mean, if you
met
wanted
the
to put
lesbino.
an act like find a unicorn, that would be like a very worthy manifestation.
But unicorns are not real.
Okay.
The
This is
lesbino
where I'm-
probably exists.
And we're done.
Oh no, John! I should have told you.
and
all right.
Do not bring up unicorns.
Okay. At least we got some stories out of her. before.
You've not been to my house, but I'm a big fan of all things mythological.
That's
Also,
cool.
and also, okay, now
No.
that you started this,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
you know, here I am.
Here we go.
I don't let things slide. I yell.
Right?
Riddle me this.
Yes.
How is it that every single society, okay, Kat's laughing, but every single society on this planet before there was like means of communication, right?
Yeah.
Before, like to travel across, Pangea or whatever.
Yeah.
How is it that every single community of people had the same mythical characters? Tell me.
Well,
Tell me.
I could go into a Jungian explanation of that, where there's the collective unconscious that we all share archetypes of different creatures or images that are just floating around in the ether that we share and see. The other thing I could say is that I don't believe that we actually did all have
But
the
we
same
did
ones.
because they found rock cave paintings. Okay.
Okay.
And I like the first one, and I don't
Okay.
think the first one actually precludes what I'm saying, because
Okay.
I think if you want to talk about the collective unconscious,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so let's say we all agree that there are people with wings that could fly, and we call them fairies, right?
Or angels.
fays. Well, angels, yes, but angels,
we're
have a
getting-
religious undertone.
Right.
Which
But
I'd like to stay away
So
from.
do the Fae. I mean, in Ireland, there's
It was paganism. What happened was, no, we can do
what
this all
happened
day.
was,
Let's do this.
Let me talk Ireland, okay?
I'm also Irish, and
Uh-huh.
also,
All right, Ms. Bell, I'm a Fitzgerald.
yes, you are. But Belle is also Irish and Scottish.
Sure.
So just
I am
FYI.
Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and German.
I took the 23andMe Ancestry.com, and it does not go below like Belgium. It's just
You know,
I'm so
the
northern.
Mormons own
Yeah.
you now.
Huh?
The Mormons own you now.
yeah, whatever.
Who cares? It's fine.
No, but anyway, that's a whole other podcast. We
Oh,
can do
yeah.
this collective unconscious podcast later. But I think that just even if they weren't physically here, the fact that we all have the same vision means that they're around. That's it. Period. Moving on. Anyways.
Well, there's the Jungian explanation. There's also the fact that if you believe that we all came from Africa, from a small group of humans that then moved out and evolved with different characteristics and traits and
Yeah.
things that are mistakenly called race related, then it wouldn't surprise me that there would be some basic things that could also travel with all of those people. If there's a spoken language, at least there's an oral tradition that
Have you ever seen a narwhal?
Yes.
Are they not mythical?
They're real.
Those things
Oh,
are.
yeah.
No, I'm saying you
Yeah.
see them and you're like,
So
that thing
strange.
is
Yeah.
out of a storybook.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that thing existed. Like if, let's say in 100 years, there's no more narwhals, try explaining the narwhal to someone. They'd be
Right.
like, that didn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, they
made
have
up.
them on those old maps,
Yeah, but they also have unicorns on the old maps.
Yeah.
And they have dragons.
well, and mermaids.
And mermaids.
Yep. Here be dragons. Well, here be dragons. That's an interesting story all unto itself. That's a cartography thing where any place that hadn't been explored, they would just say, "Here be dragons," and that was their excuse for not having it on the map.
Right.
It was
Right.
like,
Just,
"Oh, there's
there's
bad things here. You
monsters
don't want to go there."
Don't go there.
Yeah.
but there were flying reptiles,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Dinosaurs.
At
Yes.
least gliding ones.
And
yeah.
so, what makes us think that some early humanoid, like there was some sort of crossover, right? Because they're still finding they're finding bones of human
Sure.
beings that date really far back. That they're like, damn, this is almost in the Jurassic period, or I got the periods wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, so I'm just saying, like, why couldn't? If you saw a flying animal, a flying beast with a scaly tail and whatever, like like a dinosaur, a flying dinosaur, would you not make it mythical? I would.
Would you not?
I'm just saying, like, that would become this thing that you're like,
Oh,
whoa,
sure.
holy crap. Also, when we revered nature to the way that we used to revere nature,
Right.
you know, before religions really came in and sort of took over, we revered nature.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't believe in reverence.
No, me neither.
I'm very irreverent, but yeah, like I'm not a fan of religions in
Me
general,
neither, yes.
but I'm also not I look at paganism as a reaction to experiencing a world without a lot of explanations.
True,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
true. Why is the sun coming up?
I don't know, but it is.
The chariot.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I mean, there was a lot of things that went wrong in that time period for, you know, like sacrifices.
Sure. There's the whole Dark Ages.
Just all of that. but there is something very interesting about the mindset because I'm not a religious person either. So, but I do love trees. I believe
man.
in trees.
Trees are great.
Have you ever hugged a tree?
Oh, have I?
No, I have too.
Yeah.
I have you ever hugged a
I
tree?
have
Kat?
actually
Yeah.
hugged a tree.
God, we're all such Californians.
Well, I
lovely.
hugged trees before I got to California, but
Okay.
there is something lovely about hugging like a redwood, especially because
Oh.
they're so big.
Yeah.
You can't even really hug them. You
No,
just
but you
kind
kinda,
of
like,
I'm going
latch
to
on.
squeeze the
Yeah.
part of you.
They're
that
so
I can,
soft.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they're really lovely.
They're fireproof. That's
I
so
know.
cool.
They're
And
fire retardant.
yeah, and they're like, hey, don't use the R word.
Okay, listen. You made that.
I'm
weird.
getting you back for the. I know. No, but it's
They also talk to each other.
yeah,
Like
a
a lot of tree systems do, but redwoods, the roots are so deep and like the roots go really far.
intermingle and
They actually like send messages.
Wow. That's so
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Like
There-
if there is a fire, they
Incredible.
send messages like, oh, there's a fire. and
Here
then
it comes.
the ones away from the fire like add that, you know, they have their own defense mechanisms and
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah, they can flood themselves with
pretty great. It's pretty
venom.
awesome.
It's incredible.
It is cool. Yeah, they're like, and the other thing like that is like there's this fungi, this
Yes.
like mushroom thing where it'll live in an entire forest for like miles. And
It's underground. It's like,
and it's all one organism.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
It's super crazy. Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with mistakes, but this is awesome.
I smell a spin-off.
I
Yeah?
like it.
Spin-off
I like it.
podcast.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right.
All right.
What are we going to call it?
Interesting
Collective
stuff with Emma Bell.
unconscious. Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
Here there,
Carl Jung
Here there
and-
be dragons.
Here,
Oh,
yeah, I
oh,
like it.
that's
Is that
great.
already a podcast?
It should be. We should totally trademark
We need to
that.
look
We
that
should
up.
right
look
now.
it up. Yeah, we'll
Here
look it
there
up.
be
Here be
dragons.
dragons,
It's
or
all
here
about
there
the
be dragons.
unexplainable.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm
Or
so on board for that.
The ways that
Love
people deal with the unexplainable.
Right.
Because this is one of the big issues I have with this stuff is like in history, what we've done is when we don't understand something, we make up an explanation to fit it. And I am much more like Western and scientific. And I'm like, we just admit we don't know that.
Just
and then
admit
we
you don't know.
and then we try to find out what it is.
Sure.
Like for real, instead
Yeah,
of
for
just going,
realsies.
here be dragons, so don't look over there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm obnoxious about my atheism.
Don't apologize for your atheism.
My
I didn't.
husband-
I just said I'm obnoxious. I
Oh,
wasn't
right.
apologizing
Oh, okay.
for it.
All right.
It's okay. But you're not really atheist.
No, I'm anti-theist actually.
Anti-theist.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like because I don't
Anti-theist.
believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Here we go.
I'm going to keep this super short and to the point. Atheism means you believe there is no God, or you don't believe in God. I don't know whether there's a God, so that would make me agnostic.
Agnostic, yeah.
But I would rather there not be. I would rather
You're
that-
hoping there isn't.
Yes, I would rather there be free will. I would rather that we live our lives beholden to no one but ourselves, and we are accountable to ourselves. And that if there's an interventionist deity that comes down and says, "Oh, I'm going to make this sports team win, but I'm not going to cure all the kids with cancer," I got a real problem with that dude. So I'd rather that there not be that guy, so I don't have to have that problem.
I hear you. I feel like, do you guys watch The Good Place?
Yes, and I love it so.
I feel like sometimes I really do wonder if this is like The Good Place, which is like not really The Good Place.
It's that good place.
No,
which
it's
is-
like you're like, oh, we're on Earth, which is like this middle ground place, and I'm like, what if this is hell? I don't mean that in a bad way. I just because I don't know. Firstly, I'm with you. I'm actually not super religious either, and I don't actually believe in a legitimate hell place like hellscape. I don't think that you burn alive for eternity. I just think that's silly. But I do think that here on Earth we create our own hell, our own versions of hell,
I
right?
very
Like
much
for
believe
ourselves,
that.
right? Because when we're in pain, or look at wars, or look at whatever poverty and all the things that can happen with that, or like abuse and violence. Like there's just a lot of crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we either just lost a bunch of viewers or gained a bunch of viewers, and I'm not totally sure which way.
If anybody's viewing this, I want to know how.
not
because it
viewing.
means that-
Listeners,
mistakers is what we refer to them as.
the mistakers.
The mistakers.
Yes. The mistake was diving into a talk about religion. You don't talk about religion or politics.
We got
Let's talk
deep
about
here.
Trump.
Oh, no,
Let's do
no.
that. Let's get into that.
You know,
kidding, I'm just kidding.
No, but I don't. You've listened to a couple episodes,
Yeah.
so you know how we end every episode.
Yes.
Yeah, but are we?
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
because we want to talk to him about some stuff.
Guys, I have to keep talking.
Okay, I am totally down with that.
Before we
generate
end-
content, we can cut all that.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Well, I have one more
please.
mistake.
Yes.
That just popped
tell
in my
it.
brain, but I don't know how long this
Oh,
podcast
stop.
needs to be.
Let's go.
We've gone as long as
We're
like
good.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, please tell me that I should just talk more. Okay.
talk more. Emma, please talk more.
talk
Oh my
more.
God, okay. It's actually another set story, so there is sort of like a tie-in.
That's good.
But it's pretty great. It's pretty great because it was completely my mistake. I have found one that is like legit completely my mistake. So I just shot this movie called The Argument, which shameless plug number 2 is not even
Excellent.
out yet, but when it is, you should see it. It's
Go see it.
hilarious.
Awesome.
It's not out yet, but I'll remind them to remind you. The director's name is Robert Schwartzman.
Okay.
So you know his brother and you know his family, the Coppolas. Heard of him. Anyway, and it's this.
They
He's
make
really
wine, don't they?
yeah, they're fantastic winemakers. Yeah, they actually are. And he's delightful. I love him. He's a friend of a friend. It was sort of one of these things that kind of like just sort of fell into my life. Like literally that doesn't happen ever. People are always like, oh, do you just get lots of offers? And I'm like, no, I don't get lots of offers. I get mostly rejections all the time. But this was an offer, and he offered it on a Friday and we shot on Monday.
Whoa.
So it was like a very like, I think someone else fell out, but you know what? It's
Hey,
fine.
I'll take it.
I will take it.
Listen.
And it was great because it was this comedy. I don't usually get to do comedies. And the guy, it was sort of a six-hander, to be honest. There's like 3 couples. It's very like play-like. And I don't want to give too much away, but the guy who plays my counterpart is the actor Dan Fogler, who, if anyone, he's hilarious. He's in the new Harry Potters,
the
Fantastic
Grindelwald.
Beasts. Yeah, that one. He's like the funny guy with like the mustache in that. He was in Dodgeball. He's right now, actually, he's on The Walking Dead, weirdly.
Oh,
We
how
never
about
worked
that?
together because he's
Funny.
on his now seasons, but he is great and hilarious. Like so funny. Awesome. And I had to be his counterpart, and I was freaked out by that because I was like, I think I'm hilarious. I think I'm pretty funny, but
You're pretty funny.
I'm like I've never done it on camera. Like it's not something I usually do on camera. People like hire me because I'm blonde, so they're like, okay, cool. She can die, she can cry.
That's pretty
and
reductive.
She can die. It is, and story of my acting life.
But
Anyways,
listen, dying believably, that's a talent.
I've done
That's
it.
marketable.
I've done it in pretty much everything I've done. So
Not in Frozen.
true. Later, maybe at the hospital later.
Okay, at the hospital.
Close though, really close. So where was I going with this?
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so we're on the set, and everyone's funny, and everyone's just great, and everyone's sort of young. Is it me? Am I making the noise right now? Yes, it is.
It might be you.
It's
Yeah, it's
me.
you.
God damn it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
all right. You're
I
fine.
speak with my hands.
Are you Italian?
No,
No, you're Irish.
talked
So
to
it's
me.
basically the
Go
same.
below Belgium.
Okay, so so it's in between takes, whatever. And I one of the actresses, she's amazing. Her name is Cleopatra Coleman. She's amazing.
Great name.
Okay.
And she and I became friends, and she's a year younger than me. So we're talking, and she was like, "Oh, well, I'm turning 31." And I was like, or she's like, "I'm 31." And I was like, "No, you're not 31." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm 31." And I was like, "No, I'm 31. You have to be 30." And she's like, "No, I'm 31." And I was like, "Oh my God. Oh, that's so embarrassing for you. You don't even know that you're not 31. That's, whew. Let's just do the math, shall we?" And I was like, so I was born in 86 and you were born in 87. So 86 to 2019, that makes me,
Because years are the only units.
yeah. And then I was like, that makes me 32.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought it was like because you were like a month off or 2. Like, no.
I like forgot I was 32. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like so laid it in so thick to her in front of everybody. Like there was a lot of us, and I was like, "Oh, sweet girl. Oh,
You
ooh.
poor deluded
Oh my
thing.
God, you're 30. Why are you making yourself older? Don't do that. Like,
supposed to go
you're
the
not
other way.
31. I'm 31. She's like, I really think I'm 31. And I was like, no.
You had her doubting, though.
No, I did.
You're a great actress. You
For one
really
second-
are.
No, I think I was just like so, like, I was so patronizing. I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Let's do
Confidence
the
will
math.
take you places.
Yeah, and then I was like 86, 96, 2006, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm turning 33. And everyone was just like, just like dead silence. Just
Yep.
like, oh my God.
And then you rolled off.
and then I fucking rolled off the set.
You've got an exit for
Nailed it.
everything.
God,
So
I
good.
did.
Yeah.
I'm only in half that movie because I would not come back to set.
no.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing this. What's it called again?
It is called The Argument.
The Argument.
And hopefully it'll be in a festival. They just wrapped. Not wrapped. They just finished post.
Nice.
Cool.
So hopefully it'll be in a cool festival, and then you'll be able to see it like, I don't know, in a year from now.
Nice.
Because it takes a million years to get anything seen.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing for me. That was pretty. I actually literally had to walk off. Like I was like, you know what, guys?
no.
Because it wasn't even just the embarrassment. It was that I lost a year of my life. Like
Right.
in that moment,
Yeah.
I lost a year of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not trying to one up you here.
Did you do this? But like with 5 years?
It was. I think it was 6 years actually.
No.
And here's the
How do
worst
you do
part.
that?
Right? Yeah, well, okay. So I used to play a lot of poker, and I used to hang out with a lot of guys who played a lot of poker. And most of them are like, they're still my friends now. They're primarily like a lot younger than I am. I don't know why. I like all of my friends are like 13 years younger than I am. Because I'm old and young people are more interesting, frankly, a lot of the time. I shouldn't say that. Weirdos are interesting. So I'm friends with some old weirdos and some young weirdos, but I like weirdos. Anyway, I'm at this poker game. And there's a guy who's exactly my age, like same thing. And he's actually, should I go ahead? Yeah. This is a guy, I know a lot of metal guys, probably because once you meet one person in a certain subgroup, you can So this is a guy who used to be in the band Machine Head.
Okay.
Which is a big metal band for like, I doubt many of our fans are actually metal fans except for my actual friends.
Never know.
But anyway, so he's my age and it was always a weird thing. Cause like there's this, we're hanging out with younger people and he wanted to be the old, like there are only so many slots for like old dudes in a group of friends. Okay. And I'm the guy who like I don't dye my hair. I don't like I'm embracing every bit of it. Right? This guy like his hair is dyed green, so whatever, it's fine, you know. And he's got tattoos and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think he really liked me because he thought of me as like a square, like I would like and it was really fun. He's like I don't know. He was fine, and I like his music and whatever. But we were at the poker table, and people are talking about how old people are. And I think at this time I was 38 and somebody asked me how old I was. And I was like, 32, like literally like 6 years. And this guy's sitting at the table and he doesn't like me anyway. And he just looks at me like,
no way.
What the actual fuck are you talking about? And like, cause you bluff at the table, but not usually in conversation. And it was very embarrassing, but like it wasn't like these were a bunch of assholes who I play poker with, so I didn't care afterwards. And I'm like, oh wow, for a minute there, I thought I was 32.
You like
again.
legit thought you were 32?
Yeah.
You weren't trying to downplay your age.
I
just wonder because that's a lot of years.
A lot.
I have my beard back again, and it is white, right? Like I got a white beard.
I'm looking at it,
and I will wake up sometimes in the morning and like go in the dark and take a shower, and I get out of the shower and I flip on the light and I look in the mirror and I'm like, who the fuck is that old guy? I am inside. I am no more than 24. Like,
I get that.
Yeah.
I do get that.
I do too.
I do get that.
Yeah, but I'm 49. I mean, I'm
now
like
you're 49.
I'm 49.
Are you sure?
No, never since that day.
Check
have
his
I
driver's
been,
license.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
It's true. Unfortunately, yeah. Until June of next year, I'm 49.
Okay, so you're like barely. You just turned 49. You're halfway through.
I'm halfway through.
You're halfway through the year.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 33.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's a good year, 33.
It is.
Great.
Good year.
Great.
Yeah, I was born on a decade mark, so like I was born in 1970. So it's really easy to keep track of my age. That's what's so embarrassing is that like I just have what's the current year?
Yeah.
Okay, 19. So I'm 49.
Right.
Like yeah.
Being born in December is weird because actually it's like
it's the next
it's
year.
the year down. So like it's because you're at the end of the year. So, you know, when you're 32, you know, it actually looks like you're 33 year wise.
Right.
But you're like, well, no, but I wasn't really born in 86. I was born like the last 2 weeks of 86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. Yeah. Way to hog the mic, Kat.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll be quiet.
Kat, shut
Hold on.
up.
I'm going to turn down my mic.
God, let us in here.
Has there been a story, Kat? Have you told it?
Yeah, I told the convention thing.
Yeah, the photo op.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That was a good one, right?
Oh, I'm still laughing.
It wasn't really a full story.
Good one. I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just enjoying listening to you guys.
All right.
Awesome.
Because obviously we have no
we
problem
hate we hate talking. So I looked at your Wikipedia entry.
Oh God, there's so many things that are wrong. So go on.
Okay,
Go
I'm
on.
very curious.
Fun.
It says that you are originally from Weehawken, New Jersey. Is that correct?
That is actually correct now.
Okay.
It used to say Woodstown, and I was like, I don't know what Woodstown
What's
is.
Woodstown?
No idea.
But I used to spend 2 weeks every summer on LBI.
Ah,
and so
yeah,
I'm like,
you did.
and I had to look at a map to make sure Weehawken wasn't that far away. So we're down the shore, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, Weehawken's in Jersey, and LBI's on Long Island.
No. Long Beach Island, New Jersey.
Long Beach Island, New Jersey.
Yeah, LBI, Long Beach Island, New Jersey. So like Barnegat Lighthouse.
I
Did you ever
was
go to
thinking a
Barnegat
different
Lighthouse?
one. You know what? We
Yeah.
didn't go to Long Beach Island too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I can see why. I was there.
We
I know.
went to Long Island a lot because my grandparents were from there.
Okay.
But
You guys
can
are
see
more
why.
New Yorkers up there. You're like, I mean, that's like you got one. I don't know if it's a bridge or a tunnel.
Yeah.
Across the. See, I
It's a
told
tunnel.
you it's a tunnel.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
I
tunnel.
don't know. I've never lived there. I told a story about New York in one of our
Yeah.
podcasts, but yeah.
If you go to Jersey, there's two tunnels.
Okay.
If you
There's
go
the Lincoln
to
Tunnel.
there's the Lincoln Tunnel. There's the Holland Tunnel.
The Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, and
Right.
Holland Tunnel's right next to Weehawken.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
there you go.
That's how you get into Manhattan.
That's one way.
That in practice.
And I think there's bridges to Long Island and upstate New York, and then
Okay.
there's a ferry to Staten Island.
To Staten Island. Right.
Staten Island, which is where all of the accent. Long Island and Staten Island is actually where the accents come from.
Right. Right.
Jersey has it too, but it's on the border of those things.
See, I grew up. I'm a big SNL like idiot. For like most people, they only like SNL from when they were a certain age, and
Yeah.
then they don't like anything
Sure.
after that. I love SNL forever. And there used to be an old one. It was like, I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey?
Yeah.
What exit?
What exit out? Yeah.
From the Garden
But
State.
everyone
Yeah.
who meets me, no one thinks I'm from Jersey.
I never would have guessed you
Yeah,
were
because
from
I don't
Jersey.
have the accent.
No. Well, you have the Mid-Atlantic.
I have the Mid-Atlantic accent, but well, a lot of people now. I hear it more when I go to Jersey. I hear a lot
Sure.
of people from my school or old friends or whatever. And I'm like, damn, I had no idea that like there was such an accent here. But I've never had an accent.
No, well, I mean, certain generations you learn to speak from TV, and the Mid-Atlantic. There's no Mid-Atlantic region really. Like
No.
there's no. It's the Mid-Atlantic accent is something that came into being as like a way that you spoke that was neutral.
Sure.
It didn't have any obvious colloquialisms
right.
or accents or anything like that. So like people like I grew up in central Pennsylvania and central Indiana, and then I moved here.
Okay.
So yeah, I
So
like
you have that Mid-Atlantic then too.
yeah.
But sometimes in Pennsylvania it can get
Oh, you kidding? You go into the store.
Yeah.
It's like, and then there's a Philly accent.
Philly's
there's
a
Pittsburgh
whole
accent.
other
And
thing.
yeah.
Philly's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania all have a similar weirdness that's like, it's very interesting. Like you can hear it. Do you ever watch American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Kathy Bates' character in the one that was the carnival one. She was from Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
And she has like this.
The
it's-
Baltimore accent is strange.
It's super strange, but it's like the Pennsylvania accent on steroids is what it
yeah,
is.
that's true. And then the Boston accent's a whole other thing too.
Massholes. and then the Mainas.
Yeah. I know, it's so funny how all these places have dialects. You're right. The Mid-Atlantic is not really a thing.
No, it's strictly it evolved in like the I don't know, like the 30s and 40s for radio, so that people could listen to the voices and not feel alienated by
yes.
hearing.
Well, I think I have my mother to thank for this. She's a diplomat's daughter, so she grew up everywhere.
Sure.
And that's how
Right.
she speaks French and a lot of these other languages. But yeah, she very specifically has like no accent. Her and her sister have no accent. But my aunt's daughters, four of them, my cousins, they all like they talk like this and they go to the mall and like
Nice.
what are you looking at? Are you looking in the mirror? I don't know, like stuff like that. And my brother and I, we grew up with her and my dad, who has a very Long Island accent. I didn't realize until like calling him now, and he's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Whoa,
there it
did I
is.
grow up with you? I had no idea." But yeah, it's weird. That is
Now,
weird.
do you have the like? One of the things that was something that I had as an actor was I could mimic pretty well.
Yeah.
But so when I would find myself surrounded by a group of people who spoke in a certain way, I would like, and the thing is, I'd have to be careful about it because sometimes they would think I was making
You were
fun
making
of
fun
them.
of them.
Yeah, but no, I would just like.
Do you know what they say about that?
What?
People who take on other accents like that, because people do think you're making fun of them,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but it actually means you're a good listener.
You're mirroring.
Yeah,
It's
because you
that-
take it on. I actually love to do a Southern accent, and also there's like a million Southern
Oh,
accents.
there's so many.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's just, I mean, every state has.
Because Georgia has this really soft,
Says
nice
very
one,
and then there's like upper class people have
Sure.
a certain way, like cadence and whatever. But I will say, like, I love speaking with a Southern accent because I think it's the most comfortable way to speak. It's so comfortable in your mouth. Like I get why people, because it's basically an Irish accent that came over and then was kind of not bastardized, but just changed,
Yeah.
Sure.
to be Southern.
Yeah.
But it's so easy on your mouth. Like really, truly try it. It's just like, it's so easy. And like because I'm doing this role, I'm auditioning for this role, and I have to be Southern, and I've been putting on the Southern accent, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I don't have to have posture when I speak like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can just sort of talk, you know, and then I go back to my normal accent, and it feels like work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My dad was from Richmond, Virginia, and he was in
The Virginia accent.
Oh, that's a whole, yeah. But it was very interesting because he was a salesman. Like, I mean, now he rose to, you know, like be higher up, but he started from like almost nothing. And I would notice that when he was like selling, because after he retired, he actually did some real estate, but before that, he'd been an executive in an insurance company. But when he was selling, his Southern accent would get so much stronger. It would his
Southern accent,
his Southern accent, and he would tell me people get blindsided by a Southern accent because people discriminate and think you're dumb.
They do.
Right.
Because it's a slower cadence.
It's a slower cadence.
Yeah.
You don't articulate quite as hard, you know, as much.
Right. So people will underestimate you sometimes. And that's why when he was doing the hard sell, he would put on the good old boy so big.
Interesting.
And you don't want to say no to somebody who's that likable.
Yeah,
and is like,
that's true.
Yeah.
No, I love
Smart.
accents. I think accents are super interesting. They're very fun to do.
I used to have quite a few of them, and I'm out of practice on all of them.
Appalachia's hard
Oh, Lord, yeah.
to get that right.
That one, that's so many different, like, British, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of influences in the Appalachia accent. Because you can very easily go Southern and it's not Southern.
Right.
It's its own thing.
Yep.
What about you?
What about you, Kat? What do you think about accents?
I don't have an Appellation.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was actually born in Mission Hills, about
I hear it.
15 miles up there.
I hear it.
Really? Yeah.
T.O. Strong. Oh, wait, sorry. Mission Hill.
my-
M.H. Strong.
Mission Hills.
My husband's from California, and you got I hear it. There is an accent,
Yeah.
slight.
I know my brother exaggerates his A's when he says "and."
Oh,
He
really?
kind of does it on purpose, and I've taken that on. I think it's
Have you
fun
taken
too.
on any of Leah's Canadianisms?
I actually have. I do say "a" every now and then.
A?
It just
Yeah.
kind of fits sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure.
It just
A?
feels good.
No, I like it.
It's a tool. You put it. It's in the box, and you're like,
yeah, we're just gonna go hang out. Eh?
you want to make a statement, but also ask for a little bit of approval.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I also
Eh?
noticed that a lot of Canadian, my girlfriend's married to a Canadian, and I've started doing this too, but like she'll say no at the end of a statement, you know, like we're going to go to the store. No.
No.
And I'm like, is that a Canadian thing? Like, it is. It's a Canadian thing. They add like this. It's almost like giving room for there to be a different option.
Right.
They're so polite. They're like,
so nice.
let's
Yeah.
go to the
Very
store.
nice.
Eh? No?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yes.
it's offering you a chance to say,
be like,
I'd rather do
no.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
No pressure.
You know what? No.
I mean, we are not going to the store.
Yeah, but so the big thing in Canadian accents that people always overdo,
Yeah.
is they'll say a boot.
A
And
boot.
It's not a boot.
Yeah.
It's about.
About.
It's-
About.
But there are actually a few of them, even in different parts of Canada, that are different.
Yeah.
But it's mostly nobody says, "Are you ootin' a boot?"
Are you
It's like,
oot in a boot?
oot in a boot? It's like, "Are you out and about?"
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
My husband can do a really spot on Scottish accent,
Nice.
which is very attractive.
Yeah,
You like
I
it?
like the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
It's aggressive. It's
It's very like masculine, I think. I think that's
Okay.
why I like the Scottish accent. It's like a very masculine style.
these men can wear skirts and still
Yeah,
be thought of
I
as
mean,
masculine,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
It's always almost angry.
It is a little,
Right?
it's like kind of, it's almost like, I don't mean this in like a derogatory way because I really am a fan of the whole culture, to be honest. And hopefully we're going to go to Scotland soon. But like, it's almost like primal. It's like very like, it's very like, it's a lot of like guttural sounds. When you actually hear Gaelic, it's a lot of like, it's just like growls, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think it's great. I mean, I don't know. It turns me on. I'm into it.
Hey man, whatever, you know.
So
Good for you.
I don't know what to do with that. I was
Not much
gonna,
to do with
yeah. I'm
that.
like, okay, that's what turns Emma Bell on.
Well, my husband's family, his last name is Robertson.
Okay.
Robertson. you know?
Robertson.
So they're very
Very
Scottish.
yeah.
And and I think like his dad's whole family is from Scotland. I don't think he's anything but Scottish. So
See the McGregor.
So he can put it on so he can speak he can put the accent on and I'm into
awesome.
it. I'm into it. And he has a kilt. Anyway,
So now we know what you guys do in your bed.
yeah.
Private, personal.
So
Just watch some Outlander.
there you go.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I like Highlander. You can like Outlander.
Yeah, okay,
It's fine.
okay,
It's
okay.
the thing that was always so weird about that. The guy who played the Highlander was like a French dude.
That's not fair.
I
No,
know
that's not right.
No,
It's not.
No.
That's not right.
But then also it was Sean Connery played this guy who had a Spanish name, but he was a Scottish
Sean
Highlander.
Connery only does his accent,
Right.
and no matter what he's playing.
Yeah. Did you ever see Zardos? That was his science fiction movie
no.
where he
No.
basically wore the same outfit as help me, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Borat.
Yeah, the Borat bikini.
Okay.
The
My way.
Yeah, he-
oh my God, that one.
yeah. No, you got everybody. Look, Zardoz. I hope I have this right. It's Zardoz.
Okay.
Check out all the Google images of Sean Connery and Zardoz. You
But
will-
he has a Welsh accent.
well, he has a Scottish accent.
Is he
in it.
Scottish or
He
Welsh?
is.
He's
He's
Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
he's actually a big agitator for Scottish independence. Like that's his. Yeah.
Oh.
When you call like the organization for Scottish independence, it's his
Amazing.
voice on the
that's
recording.
kinda awesome.
Yeah,
Good for him.
yeah, it's cool.
For Scottish. Good luck.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good luck, Scots.
Good luck with that.
Have fun with that. Even Northern Ireland is still part of the UK.
I mean,
We're gonna have a. We're
We
gonna
should
have
not talk about that.
You kegs it? I
No,
don't
let's
know.
not get into those politics.
why? Why though? Why not? Why not?
I
We're
love
here.
it. Emma has entirely changed the format of our show just by being on here
Yeah,
one time.
I don't hate it. That's for
I don't
sure.
either. But you've been really quiet.
I mean, no, this is no. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit over here.
England, what are you thinking?
Come on. We elected Trump. Come on, really?
Well, no, that's the joke,
No, I
right?
know.
It's like
Yeah.
America and England are sitting at a bar,
Uh-huh.
and England's just sort of like, oh, it's got his heads in his hands. It's like, man, we just voted for Brexit. We just fucked it all up. And America looks at him and is like, hold
My beer.
It's good.
But
Yep.
bum.
Ba-dum-bum.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a podcast called The Dollop, as is Kat.
Indeed.
And Kat actually introduced me to The Dollop. And
Credit where credit's
there you
due.
go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Dave Anthony's kid, Finn, no relation,
Right.
dressed as Baby Trump for Halloween. Have you seen the inflatable
yes.
like Trump in the diaper?
I feel like that's mean to your kid, though.
Oh, I think the kid was eating it up.
Oh, was he? Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, and Dave Anthony, though, I think is pretty mean. He's just a mean guy.
He's kind of
We
mean.
thought, like Cameron and I actually thought about going as Trump and Ivanka
Mm-hmm.
because then we would just make out all night and it would be like,
Wait, but who would stand next to you while you did it?
yeah.
Because you're
I
already
know, right?
making
We
out.
knew, yeah, exactly.
Funny.
But we thought like that
Callback.
would be gross, a gross way to make fun of them. And then we were sort of like, yeah, but I don't want to be her.
Yeah.
He didn't like, he was like, I don't want to be Trump all night. Like,
And you wouldn't
ugh.
be making out because she won't even hold his fucking hand.
No, his daughter.
Sorry.
got
I'm
it.
thinking Melania.
Melania,
Oh, wow.
true. No,
Yeah,
his
okay.
daughter.
Just
That's
caught up.
super gross, but also awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos. Hmm.
Yeah, that was one of our plans, and then we decided against it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
We
So what
went
did
for-
you go as?
We went as Princess Bride and Dread Pirate Roberts, obviously.
Yes, you guys look great.
My
by the way.
favorite movie of all
Thank you.
time.
Ugh, yes.
Yep.
Totally one of my top 5.
Yep.
It was just that I can't like pick, but it's up there. It's in there.
Sure.
It's classic.
How are we doing?
So,
Yeah.
Emma,
Yes. Would you like me to talk more about my things?
you have some things going on.
I do.
Can you
Okay.
tell us
Yeah.
about your things?
So, okay. Here I go.
Okay.
So
If
I
we insist, and we do.
when does this go up, by the way?
Pretty soon.
Pretty soon. Okay,
Wednesday.
great. So
Wednesday.
so you'll have one day, listeners. You'll have
Oh,
one
shit.
day
Oh, boy.
to contribute to my crowdfunding campaign for my first feature film as a director. I wrote and will be directing a script called Nice Trick, and it's a later in life, aka 30-something coming of age story with like rom-com kind of tropes, which I think is
Nice.
really cool, and magical realism. In case those two things
Hey.
you weren't fans of those enough, you got to add the magical realism. Here it is, be boo bam. It's about a struggling actress who's about to give up on her dream, and then she meets a magician. And his outlook on life sort of tricks herself into believing in herself again.
Awesome.
And it's very lovely. I think it's very relatable, especially relatable to anyone who is trying to pursue anything. It could be Hollywood dreams, or it could be any dream, really. Like anything that we try to do is hard, and we reach a moment where what we thought it was going to look like isn't really what it looks like, you know?
Sure.
And you kind of have to ask yourself, like, man, is this what I want to keep doing with my life? You know? And I think, trying to instill a sense of like, yeah, keep going, but don't keep going in like a negative way, which I have been very, in the past, I've been very like guilty of, you know, being like, oh, well, fuck this shit. And I'm just going to keep slamming my head against the wall. But still being quite angry at the process because it's about the process and not about the end result.
Right.
Plus, who doesn't love a little magic, right? So that's called Nice Trick. And anyone who is interested, if you're still listening and you're still listening to me, it's www.nicetrickthemovie.com. We did get past our 80% funded, which
Excellent.
is great because that means we actually now get to
Huge.
keep the contributions
Right.
that have already come in.
It's big.
That is actually, I was very nervous.
But you mistakers could take them over the line.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
We
Do
still
it.
have $10,000 to go to our final goal. So yeah. So, and also a big part of it is I'm dedicated to hiring women. Pretty much, I mean, I would prefer 100% women just because let's try it. Let's have it. Let's see what goes.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Not all men. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And especially women in positions of power. So, female editor, know any? Female DP. Obviously, I am female. For those who don't know what I look like,
I don't think anybody had any doubt at this point.
I don't know. It's 2019. You
It's
never know.
true.
So anyway, it's a very, I think, very uplifting story and very like fun story, and yeah, everyone should go check it out.
Yeah, they should.
And they should and they will.
Thank you.
And you were in New York at
I
the
did.
Chelsea Film Festival.
Yeah, in case you weren't sure if I'm good at this whole directing thing.
Yeah.
My latest short called Between the Pines actually just won Best Short at the Chelsea Film Festival.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, it was
Congratulations.
our first festival with this short, and it won.
It's
the
amazing.
top prize.
Well
I know.
done.
I'm not expecting that.
Hey,
I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. That was amazing.
that's when it's best. If you're expecting it and you don't get it, that's the worst.
I almost didn't go because I was like, well, there's no way.
Oh,
There's no
good
way.
thing you
Wow.
showed.
Yeah. And then my mom was like, get yourself in a dress and we're going.
Nice.
And then I
Is
went.
she still in Weehawken? I mean, I don't know if she.
Yeah.
It's just one
she
tunnel
lives out
away.
here, actually.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
She lives out here. So yeah, that's very cool. And that's much more of like a dark, it was sort of in the vein of Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
which is like really more my jam than like rom-coms. I just had to write the story, so I'm doing it. But I'm like a giant Guillermo del Toro fan and Tim Burton fan. Like that's more the world I'd like to be in.
Do you know who Doug Jones is?
Yes.
Yeah, I went to school with him for like a minute at
The
Ball
actor,
State.
right?
Yeah, Ball State.
Yeah,
he's
he
the guy who
played-
does all the mask work.
He
like,
did. He's in Hocus Pocus.
Probably. He's in everything.
He's
where,
He's the guy. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
He
he's.
was also in Hush, that episode of Buffy. That
Oh,
was
cool.
Like yeah.
Oh, he's one of the creepy guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Super like
He's awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, he does all that
physical
kind of
actor.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
That's cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. I wish I knew him better, but like we just
God
went to
damn
the
it.
same school. For him.
God damn
Look
it.
it up, man.
But he was in
Because
Pan's
he would
Labyrinth
actually
as
be
well.
perfect. Yes, he was. He'd be perfect for one of my characters. Anyway, moving on.
Okay,
We'll
I'll see
make
what
that
I can
happen
do.
later. Yeah,
Let's
please.
make this
Ooh,
connect.
Please, yes.
nice.
There's like a dragonfly man.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
You could do that for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. That's what I do.
Excellent. So
Nice.
do all those things.
Yes.
Go like see Between the Pines if you get a chance. Where is that is it
Between
being
the Pines
distributed?
right now is, well, we're still in festivals. There's a trailer online. If you want to go to emmabellfilm.com, that's my directing website. You can check
course
out the
they do.
trailer there.
Awesome.
Hopefully, I would actually like to get it distributed. Just because there is actually a market for short films.
Sure.
So I'm gonna work on that, and then maybe you'll be able to see it broader than that.
That'd be great.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Keep us posted on that.
of course I will.
Sure.
Excellent.
All right.
And, I mean, and you should definitely come back.
I will
Yeah.
definitely. I have so
Nice.
many
I feel like
stories.
there's more stories.
There's lots of stories. There's also 4 people with
There
trying
are.
to get into this house.
They are really, really anxious to get in here.
You know what?
And my
We are
girlfriend's
professionals.
giving me the evil eye.
Okay.
There's a man with a tape measure.
A lot
Well.
of things are happening.
Goodness.
You
I'm
can't
missing
see it.
out on
yeah.
all of this.
You can't
Yeah.
see it because your back's to the door, but
Oh.
things
right.
are happening.
So what do you say we all talk about how we feel about our vice president?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we
yeah.
should
Yeah.
do that.
We should end here.
I mean,
and we're done. Just
No, but the way that we end every episode is
Yeah.
that we
as
we,
you know, because you listen to every
Yes,
single
every single
one.
She's an avid listener, people. She's
Avid
a mistaker
listener.
from way back.
Yes.
We like to wish a particular act to be performed upon our vice president because he deserves it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs
And
it.
so
he could
if-
use it.
Yeah,
How
we
Like, how PG are we here?
Oh, no, we're not
I'm
at
gonna let
all.
you guys go first.
Okay,
okay.
no, because I will tell you, and about every 3 or 4 episodes, we'll actually say what it means.
Sure.
And then when it's just us, we'll just usually say the 3 letters. But it's
Oh, you use letters.
we
Okay.
use letters, but it means fuck Mike Pence. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
let there be no mistake.
Yes.
Fuck Mike Pence.
Yeah.
But
100%.
we've shortened it to something that mistakers recognize and you could say in a mixed environment and still agree with each other and know each other by this
Yes.
by this word or by these letters. And so we say that FMP, which
FMP.
stands for fuck Mike Pence.
Yeah,
FMP.
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 For sure.
Yep.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Maybe in the butt.
Hey, I am not going to dictate.
I'm just
you know,
saying. I think he wants it.
I think he does. Thanks for being on the show.
You're
Emma.
welcome. Thanks, Ryan.
FMP.
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 Boom.
Boom.
All right, this
You
time
are a delight. Thank you.
this time I'm gonna record. So let's start.
Okay, and that was the warm up.